Hi! That was so high. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Hi, welcome to my channel. February is over! The month of love, which means it's spring! Which means it's almost summer, my favorite season ever. Oh, I wish it was here sooner, filled with mosquitoes and sweat and condensation from my body and steam on my glasses. I wish it would be here sooner, where the electricity bill is 3 times as high because of the air conditioning. I love summer. I don't know what that was, I'm sorry. Hi, how are you? February is over, and I've read 17 books. 17, that was the most pathetic burp that I've ever burped in my entire life. I've read 17 books. And these are the books. Before we start, can you please tell me if this is entertaining for you? Not me. This type of videos. I personally like watching month wrap-ups, especially yearly wrap-ups, but I do like monthly wrap-ups. But I don't know if you find them enjoyable or not. So tell me if you find them enjoyable, and if you don't, I'm gonna stop doing this. We started the month of actually together with The Madman by Khalil Gibran, and it was such a masterpiece. I didn't expect that. I just picked it up. I went to a bookstore and I just picked it up, and then I went on a hike and I just took it with me, and I finished it on like the drive there. I just finished it, and it's not a big book to be like so like excited about it. Oh, I finished it in one sitting. It's not like that, but I was like so shocked that I finished it because I wouldn't have the time. It's a goddamn hike, and it's a lot of things you have to do and get ready and shit, and I took like every available 5 minutes so I would be able to read. And I did, and I finished it, and it was a 5 stars, and I made a video about it, which had no valuable points and opinions. It's just me for like, I don't know, 12 minutes or something, telling you, oh my god, this is one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. It's like so good. Go read it. It follows, by the way, I forgot to say, it's from the POV of the town's cuckoo head, the town's crackhead, the town's madman. And they are some stories that he told, some stories like, it's called The Madman, his parables and poems. Some of them are short stories, some of them are poems, and they deal with everything. A little bit of life, a little bit of hate, a little bit of love, a little bit of death, a little bit of friendship, a little bit of everything. This was like, if you've read The Prophet, this was like The Prophet if The Prophet finished its education. I don't know if that makes sense. That's an Arab thing that we say. It's a proverb thingy, and I don't know how to translate it literally because it doesn't really translate. But it's like The Prophet on crack. Kinda. Where The Prophet gives you like short stories, I'd say, about every aspect of life. This one, you know what? I'm not gonna compare them. They're different books with different vibes, and I love them both. But I prefer The Madman, and it's so good. It gives you like lessons on everything and so much to dissect, especially if you're interested in the English language and the use of the English language and just literature in general. It gives you so much to dissect, and I loved it so much. Then I've read Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. This book had a lot written on it, and it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. This was really hyped, and it actually has a Nobel Prize. Yeah. It actually has a Nobel Prize. And I can see why. I can definitely see why. It's not going to be a book for everyone, I feel like. And I've seen a lot of reviews saying that it's straight out boring. And it's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's not a book that I would like vehemently, like enthusiastically defend and be like, it's not boring, how dare you. It's not like that, but it had so much to give. Following this girl, Kathy, and her years in a boarding school, and then her years after a boarding school, where we discover a lot of shit that has happened in the boarding school. And it had so much to give, and it gave what it was supposed to be given. Then I've read Confess by Coho. I was shocked in a bad way. I loved so much books, so much books. Wow, I loved so many books from Coho. Verity and Lila were my favorites from Coho. I loved her thrillers, and she is working on another thriller, so I'm happy about that, and I cannot wait for it. I love them. I liked November 9. I loved November 9. I loved Reminders of Him. I liked Hard Bones and Without Merit. I liked all of these. But then I read Confess. Boy, what went wrong? What happened? What did you have in your coffee that morning when you started writing it? When you wrote the rhyme in the wall? There were these two people, right? This dude that has an art gallery that's called Confess, right? Where he takes people's confessions and then turns them into art, which is such a good idea, and I loved it so much. And then this girl that moves to this place where he lives, and they meet, and he like, at first it starts with like, she doesn't recognize me, but I recognize her, and it was so interesting. I was like, oh my God, how do you know her? What happened? Did you cause someone's death? Did you do this? Did you do that? But then all of that, it ended with, like, you got me hard for nothing. You got me so freaking excited for nada, for nothing, for nada. What did you like about him? No say, I don't know. Like, this is a book. I do not book shame. I try my best to not judge anyone on their book preference. But when someone tells me, oh my God, go read Confess, I'm like, what did you like about him? About it? What did you like about it? And I try, and my brain is like, no say, I don't know. I don't know. What did I like about it? Nada, nothing. Oh, I was ready to let go of a lot of things. I was ready to forgive a lot of things, and then she had them. Have a rhyming duo in the middle of the street like it's normal. Like it's attractive, like it's mature, like it's normal, bitch. Not even like it's normal. It wasn't even cute the way it was done. I still remember it to this day, and it freaking haunts me. It haunts me. He told her, go back home, come back, shower, come back in an hour, then you, Auburn Mason Reed, that was her name, I will completely devour. And then she goes, like, before that, she goes, I'm the queen of rhyming, it's all about the timing, bro. And then what sent me away forever and ever and ever and ever to the land of I hate this freaking book with all of me was the fact that after she said I'm the queen of rhyming, it's all about the timing, and made the stupid goddamn rhyme, he said, she's trying to be seductive. Boy, okay, I've been single for a while, and before that I was in a situationship, right? So I haven't dated anyone, and I'm not dating. And I thought, it's just me. I'm like off the game, right? I'm not social. I'm not a social person at all. I'm actually that aspect of life is actually like very difficult for me. And my mental health is weird, and I'm very unstable. And I thought it's 100% just me, right? People are doing this. It's 2023. Maybe people are doing it. It's 100% just me, but it's not me. Like, the more I've read of that scene, the more I wanted to escape my body. I hated that book. And then I read Schoolgirl by Osama Desai. And then I read Schoolgirl, but that was such an unenthusiastic way of talking about the book that I really liked. I read Schoolgirl by Osama? I've read Schoolgirl by Osama Desai. How do I describe this book and make it sound good? Because the description of it doesn't make it sound good, but it was so good. It's literally you following the daily life of a girl. Like, when she wakes up, when she does her schooling, her blah blah blah, and then she goes back home and she sleeps. Like, dusk till dawn, dawn till dusk, and you're following her. Why is that interesting, you might say? Because it's Osama Desai. He is an icon. He is the moment. Legend, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, and whatever's in between. He is the moment, and it was the relatability and the familiarity for me. I did make a full video of the Japanese literature books that I've read, or the books by Japanese authors that I've read over the period of last month and this month. It was like in the middle. It was a month in the middle of January and February. That's what happened. I did make a full video, and I'm gonna link it here if you're interested, where I talk more about these books. But it was an unexpected find, because when February was here and I was like reading the last few books of the challenge, I just found it and I added it. It was such an amazing find. I'm always like so excited to find these books that are like unexpected, but they turned out to be so good, and it definitely held a special place for me because of how relatable it was. It was a little bit, you might say at times that it's a little bit pretentious sometimes, but then even when I thought that it's a little bit pretentious, I remembered the author and his story, and I could feel like the opinion of this is pretentious being stripped away from me, and this is so sad and realistic, replacing it, because the author was mentally unstable and sadly took their own life. I don't remember at what age, but still a young age, I think like 39 or something. So you can definitely feel that this shit is real. Like, this author was able to put his entire emotions into this character of a schoolgirl. Then I read The Very Cryptid Christmas in a vlog thingy, and I wasn't expecting this as well. It was an arc sent to me, so thank you again for the blushing people. I was gonna say blushing people. Thank you again for the Thank you again for the publishing people Thank you again for sending me this book. It was a collection of folklore stories about folklore creatures, krampus, whatever, you know, that sort of thing. I liked it. It wasn't just like a book I'd sit and read and just like a story that I'm gonna get super involved in and super attached to, but it was like a fill-in. It definitely got me out of what was gonna become a slump. So I was happy about that. And also I liked like the formatting of it. I like books with short stories. It wasn't the best that I've read, of course, and it's not gonna be for anyone because it is a dark romance. Some of it is PNR, some of it is CNC, some of it is just, you know, wild shit, and it's not gonna be for anyone, but I did like it and enjoyed it nonetheless. Then I've read Most of All You by Mia Sheridan. I'm still sorry I can't say your name properly. And it was the same author of Archer's Voice, and I loved it. I read them in the same blog, and I ended up loving it so freaking much. This author, like, it follows Bree, not Bree, again, Bree's from Archer's Voice. It follows Ellie. Yeah, Ellie and Gabe, and Ellie, they are both very, very troubled and escaped a very traumatic, troubled childhood, right? And they meet each other and try to help each other. And we did like this journey with them of discovering themselves and their self-worth and stuff like that. And I liked it so much. I had like one negative of it. And yeah, but it didn't really take a lot from the story. And then I read a manga. I started Chainsaw Man. And I've read the first and the second one back to back. And I liked it. It's literally that. A man with chainsaws for hands. That's it. That's who he is. He's a half demon, half person, of course. Like every MC in any manga ever and any anime ever, they're always half things. Like half and half. Always. Have you ever noticed, even in books, like if it's a werewolf thing, if it's a vampire thing, if it's a witch thing, it's always half and half. And they're like having this heartfelt moment of like, I don't belong with the humans, but I also don't belong with the witches or werewolf or insert anything. And I'm like, an outcast in both of them, and no one understands me. These don't accept me and these don't accept me. It's always like that, and it's the same here. But it was so cool. He is a boy hired to end other devils with his little cutesy dog that has, I'm sorry, but his face looks like a butt, and he's like literally a little dog with a chainsaw in the middle of his face. And I don't know, why is that weird to me? Like, I don't like the art of the dog. Like I don't like how he's made, but he's still so cute. Oh yeah, I liked it. It wasn't like the best I've read, and it gotten better as I've gotten with it. It's gotten better, but it still wasn't like the best I've read. Part 3, which I think so far was the worst of all of them for me personally. It was still good, but it was the worst of all of them. But I actually rated it, and then after reading more of the manga, I went back and rated it lower because I knew that the potential, it could have been so much better. And it was just because, I don't know, like it might have been just me or Denji. It's the main character is Denji. They have half dude, and we meet this new like organization or whatever that's looking for him, and then people, like, it was like a switch, and I don't know, I just wanted him to be with his dog and kill devils. I don't know. And then I read part 4, which gotten so much better because of the, I hate using this word, but because of the quirkiness of it. Literally, oh, Denji is like so charming, but I gotta say, for all the talents you have, my dude, you are not that smart, you're not that bright. And they tried to utilize that in this volume. They tried to utilize their brain meats, and it resulted in an interesting but yet super entertaining and personally to me funny result. But it was fun to follow. This one I just gobbled up and finished in one sitting. It was really fun to follow. And then I've read another arc recently actually, which is The Boy in Makeup by Anthony Connors Roberts, and it's a debut novel. And also, after I rated it 3.5, and it's following Corey and Ben. It's following Corey's story, who is a boy in high school that likes to wear makeup, and it's a short story, so keep that in mind. That was one of the negatives. I did want more from it, but like the author is the cutest, the sweetest person. After I finished it, I left my review, and literally not even like 5 minutes later, he actually DM'd me on my TikTok, and it was like, thank you so much for the review and blah blah blah. It was so sweet, and I was tempted to actually upgrade a little bit because I didn't know it was their debut novel, and they told me like about the shortness of it, my opinion on the shortness of it, because that was one of the negatives. They told me that it was because it was their first novel, their debut novel, and I didn't want to go heavy, which is absolutely like something understandable. So it was a 3.5 then. From the writing alone, honestly, I can see so much potential. I can definitely see that it's still a lot of room. I feel so weird saying that because who the fuck am I to judge? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. But I can definitely see a lot of improvement in Anthony's future. I feel so weird, I'm sorry. But yeah, when they do write a full novel, I can definitely 100% see it being a banger, see it being a TikTok sensation, because this was really cute. It was like, even the negatives that I found in it, it was still a very cute short story. It was diverse, it was sweet, it was adorable and inclusive and comforting. Very comforting. So yeah. Sylvia Plath has come into this earth, gave us the banger that was the bell jar, and then left. And I've never wanted to go back in time and meet an author just so I can hug them and tell them to please hold on in all of my life. So I was reading a little bit of her work, and I've read Daddy, and I was disappointed. I don't know, I know there's a lot in it, but I just, at the time, I was not in the mental capacity to dissect everything. I just wanted to enjoy something. I wanted to feel comforted by something mental health wise, and it didn't do that for me personally. It's a short poem, so just you literally Google it now and read it. Yeah, so I just read it. Then I've read Chainsaw Man Volume 5, Volume 6, and Volume 7. And we meet a new character, and at first I didn't like it, so the rating was lowered. I don't remember if it was the 5th or the 6th. I'm sorry, my brain is stupid. But we meet a new character, and I just didn't like it. I hate when that happens. I hate it so much. I hate when we have a cool, fun story with the quirky, cool, fun character, and then we have to add in love interest and this and that. I just don't like that. I don't like that much. It like, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I get attached to people, and don't get attached to anyone. Let me just say that. Don't get attached to anyone. But the last one, the 7th volume, and it got a little bit better because it was so gory. And the one negative that I had is that, one, it's gotten too repetitive. Two, it's gotten too predictable. Way too predictable. Everything ends in gore. Everything ends in gore. My man got a kiss. And I was like, oh, are they gonna stab him? And then they cut off his tongue. So it was predictable. And I finished the month with A Little Life, which made me a little shattered, which shattered me into little pieces. What's to say about this book, A Little Life? It was 5 stars. It ended up honestly being one of the best books that I've ever gonna read in my life, and one of the books that I'm immediately like, I wish I can erase my memory just so I can be able to read this book again. And I honestly do not know how to move on from that book. Read at your own risk. Check the trigger warnings. This is the video of me reading it. Those were the 17 books that I've read this month, last month, February. Tell me if you've read any of them and what you think about them. I love to see. Oh, by the way, The Boy in Makeup, I'm so sorry, I forgot. The Boy in Makeup will be released. Actually, by the time you're seeing this, it's probably already released. It's gonna be released last Wednesday. Oh Lord, it's gonna be released the 1st of March, Wednesday. And I don't know if this is gonna be up for the 1st of March, probably not. So by the time you're seeing, oh my god, that was such a long fucking statement. By the time you're seeing this, it's released. So tell me what were the books that you read this month, if you've read any, and if you haven't, what are the books that you are planning to read next month, this month, actually, March. I'm so confused. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.